have a variety of topics to discuss with today's guest because, frankly, he's just the guy that knows a little bit about everything. We love talking about franchise businesses. He has more than a little experience there, including what he's doing now. But we also, as you know, always talk to small business owners, and one of the big things that a lot of business owners don't think of the day they get into business, how are they going to get out of business? We're going to discuss that as well. The name of the business we're chatting with today is VR Business Brokers of Dallas, and Mr. VR Business Brokers of Dallas, and my guest right here in the studio with us, Larry Lane. Larry, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
Thank you. I'm just fine, thanks.
You know, you could tell there at the beginning, I was talking about we love franchise businesses around here. You're with a franchise business now, but this isn't your first rodeo in the franchise world, is it?
No. I kind of grew up in franchising. I was with Fast Signs International in its early days. Joined in 1988 and was with the company through 2009. And when I left, we had 540 stores. When I got there, we had 15. So
you did a good
I saw
job.
a lot of growth during my time with Fast Signs.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then you decided to did you immediately go from there to here? Was there another transition in between?
I transitioned from Fast Signs into business for myself with VR. During my time with Fast Signs, we had helped a lot of franchisees exit when they were ready, and actually worked with some business brokers in local markets helping find buyers for the franchisee. And that's what kind of piqued my interest about the business brokerage world. So when it was time to make a move, that's what I decided to do.
It's just the perfect move, you know. And so many people struggle, quite frankly, when they're rolling along doing something they enjoy doing and they think they want to do something else. They don't know what it is, but you were one of the fortunate ones to where not only did you find something that you enjoy doing, you found something that you had enjoyed doing for a long time, working with franchise people.
Right, yes, very
so
much
give us some of the aspects of VR, what you do exactly to help people.
Well, in short, we help people sell their business when they're ready. Now, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's the end game.
Yeah.
And, you need to plan properly when you're doing that. So we advise people early on of the things they need to put in place to maximize the value of their business. We educate them on how to value the business so that they're not surprised, which a number are at times.
Well, and let's go into that a little bit because I would imagine, just off the top of my head, you run into instances to where people are just convinced that their business is worth more than it really is, and they don't want to hear the bad news from you, do they?
That's probably the most challenging part of my business and the most frustrating because it's not delivering good news.
Right.
But a lot of business owners operate under false impressions of what their business is really worth, and that's why we encourage, regardless of whether you're looking at selling today or, 10 years from now, get a business valuation so you learn the process and you learn the valuable points of business valuation.
Well, I would have to think, though, Larry, that the business valuation could fluctuate depending on the business from time to time. And do you need to do that, or is there a formula you put in place?
Yeah, if you go through the valuation process, you'll learn the method by which businesses are valued. So as your business peaks and valleys, you'll be able to still have an idea of what the real value is. It's much better than going 15 years without knowing anything and thinking all of a sudden my business when I sell is worth $10 million and it's not. And you didn't save for retirement, so now you don't even have a retirement fund.
Yeah, all this time you've been thinking, it doesn't worry. When I'm ready to retire, I'll just sell out and go live on an island somewhere.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it doesn't happen that way. You're talking about exit strategies, and I mentioned it there on the opening. So many people, their whole life, all they can think about is starting their own business. And when they start their own business, the last thing they want to think about is when they're not going to have the business anymore. But that's really one of the most important things you need to think about.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
You start planning for the exit the day you bring it on. And that doesn't mean you're selling, but there are things you should be doing regularly to build the value of the business, whether it's creating an infrastructure of personnel, positioning the business to be able to thrive without your everyday involvement. You do not want a business that's totally dependent upon you, because that is not the way to create the most value for the business.
No, not at all.
Financial management is key. You've got to have a business that's profitable and can show that it's profitable. Don't live out of your business to where it's not making any money on paper just so you don't have to pay taxes, because that's not going to
decrease the sales price a little bit.
That's going to put you in a...
And you don't want to get in trouble having two sets of books. That's a whole other ball game too.
What you should do is plan properly. Minimize your profits early on, but as you get closer and closer to your exit time, start showing the real numbers, because that's where your value is going to come into play.
Absolutely.
And that's where you're going to maximize.
Well, is this across the board? Because you're not industry specific. I'm sure you work with businesses of all. What is a good target business, if you will, for you? Is it the type of business or the size of business or whatever?
Well, we are normally dealing with small to mid-sized privately held businesses. Typical revenue range up to about 10 million. We've handled deals a little bigger than that, but that's not our bread and butter. Our bread and butter's, that entrepreneur who's building a business, maybe up to about 10 million in revenue. Industry-wise, we're agnostic. We cover all kinds of businesses. Our best business is a B2B type service.
Okay.
Again, my background. I do a lot in signs and graphics, print. Other B2B related services, because I'm very comfortable in that. And so staffing businesses, anything that services another business is something that we do a lot of work in. But we do everything from donut shops to manufacturing plants to gasoline stations, you name it.
So you in some cases, I guess you're working both sides, meaning this guy's ready to sell. Do you also have this other side of people that are looking to purchase businesses, and you try to get them together?
I'm sorry I didn't
No, you're okay.
This thing.
That's okay.
Our primary focus is finding a business to sell.
Right.
Once we've got it listed, then we turn around and go try to find the buyer.
Okay.
Now, we do occasionally do buyer rep work where a buyer contacts us and says, I want you to help me find a business. That's not something we do a lot of. We'll consult if someone's, like right now, in fact, I'm helping someone who is looking to buy a liquor store. Actually, he wants to buy several liquor stores. And he really wanted someone on his side of the table to negotiate value and guide him through the first process of buying a business. So I took that on. That's a very small part of our service. We are mostly focused on finding people with businesses that they want to sell.
With so many businesses, with everything that's happened in the last year with the pandemic, what impact has that had on your business? I mean, has there been people that said, I can't take it anymore, get me out of here, or what's the feel there?
Yeah, when COVID first hit, it was dramatic to our business because we had a lot of things working.
Sure.
We had 5 deals under contract.
Oh no! Now the valuations are getting old.
So the buyers got scared initially right away. 4 of those deals were gone.
Oh no!
Within days. So 2020 was a tough year for the business and the industry. Buyers were hesitant, obviously, to take the plunge. I actually thought we'd be a lot more busy with businesses that were desperate to sell. Yeah. We didn't see that as much as I would have thought. Now, those aren't the really type of businesses you want, because you want thriving businesses. They're going to sell for a higher price. We work on commission.
Sure.
So that's what you really want to deal with. But I think what happened, I think the PPP side of things helped people buy time.
Good.
I think
and that's what it was designed to do,
yes,
by the way.
I think it worked in that regard. I think there were people who just knuckled down, said, we got to make this work no matter what. We'll think about selling our business when we've built it back up. And so they did that. And then I'm sure there were some people who were just so devastated, they said, we don't have anything to sell, we'll go away.
It's really not worth it, I just want to erase it.
Right. And then there were those that were thriving during COVID because of the type of business they were in, that were better positioned to maximize their business.
Well, and they're in a position now to where maybe COVID was a positive. Maybe we'll come back and chat about that another time. But I know this much: you're in the perfect place you need to be with your passion, and your experience, and your professionalism with franchise businesses and business owners in general. Perfect for you. Thanks for sharing your story with us today.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.
Folks, thank you as well. As always, we love you being here, and don't run off. We're coming right back.